killing any remaining infected cells. Dr. Janik was not recommending any other treatment at this point. No drugs that might cause weight gain and night sweats and be a constant reminder to Carrie that she was still an at-risk cancer patient. When the radiation therapy first started, Carrie had slept a lot, spent her waking hours in bed or propped up on the couch in the living room, reading, watching TV. Gradually, as her body adjusted, she was able to function more or less normally for short periods, do little things around the condo, take short outings, and she'd made arrangements with Bates and Carpenter to handle a limited amount of work from home. Her energy level now was such that she felt she would be ready to go back to work full-time in 10 days. I thought that was a little premature, but if Dr. Janik gave his permission, I wouldn't try to talk her out of it. Long, hard 2+ months. For me, for Sybil, Carrie's mother, who was 83 and in shaky health herself, and for Emily. When we first told the kid, she'd had some trouble coming to terms with it. She had suffered so much loss already in her young life, the sudden death of both her natural parents, and the prospect of losing her adoptive mother as well was devastating. If the breast cancer diagnosis had come 2 years ago, Emily might not have been emotionally equipped to weather it, as fragile as she'd been when she first came to live with us. But she was stronger now, more mature, more secure. Once the initial shock passed, she'd shown the kind of strength and courage we'd hoped for. As for me, I'd all but quit working during July and August so I could be with Carrie at the hospital every day and take care of Emily and the household chores and bring Sybil over from Larkspur for periodic visits, since she was no longer able to drive long distances. I didn't get much sleep, had no appetite, and lost 10 pounds. Tension and anger lived in me day and night. The first few times I saw Carrie pale and tired after radiation, then later that spreading burn on her chest, the frustration I felt was so great I wanted to hit something, a wall, a door, something. Because I loved her and I couldn't stand to see her like that. Because there was nothing I could do to help her. All I could do was watch, wait, hope, pray, remain positive. Passive roles that go against my nature. There was anxiety, too, constant and insidious. Despite all the good news and reason for optimism, there were no guarantees that Carrie would continue to be a survivor. Cancer is a devious goddamn disease. You think you've got it beat, all the signs point in that direction, and then without warning it can flare up again in the same spot or in some other part of the body, and if it does, then maybe it will be invasive. Maybe you won't survive. You can never be completely sure this won't happen. You can never feel completely safe. We both knew that, but we never mentioned it. Once during the first week of radiation therapy, I came home after running an errand, walked in quietly, and heard Carrie crying in the bedroom. Great heart-wrenching sobs that tore through me like knives. She never wept when I was around, not so much as a single tear. I know that crying is a healthy thing for a woman, a form of catharsis, but I don't seem able to cope with it. It turns me to jelly inside, unmans me. I slipped out even more quietly, wandered around the neighborhood for a while, and made a lot of noise when I let myself back into the condo. Carrie was dry-eyed and smiling in bed, episode over and done with, as if it had never happened, but not forgotten, not ever by me. I hated those devious, unstable bastard cells in her body and what they had done to her emotionally as well as physically. A greater, more virulent hatred than I've ever felt for anything or anybody in my life. Late that Friday morning, after I took Carrie home from the hospital, I drove downtown to the new agency offices on South Park. She didn't need me for anything, and Emily was off at Marine World with a friend and the friend's parents.